What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pariah, and I'm back with another one. Now I put this here because I know in my last video I was talking about the dating hierarchy in the South and the things that go on. I'm going to be explaining that in this video too. Um, as you can see here in this image, this is a picture of the United States of America. But three regions are shaded out and one region is shaded in and it's green. The other regions are gray. So the green region that's outlined with red is the southern region that's highlighted, and that's the region that I'm going to talk about, is this ignorant, bigoted southern region, especially near the borderline hemisphere where the Northwest is, because that's where I came up at, and a few others that I talked to came up there. I came up in Maryland, Baltimore, and that's way up there near D.C., Virginia. You'll see it. Delaware. But anyway, me coming up as a kid, a mixed kid, being in preschool, I've been called a white boy by dark-skinned black kids. This was in the early 2000s, like what, 2004, 2005, 2006. That's one. So if I was you guys, I wouldn't even want to have kids, and especially if you're race mixing. I wouldn't want to have kids in this southern region. I grew up being called that. If I stood up for myself or got into it with one of them, they would try to gang up on me and shit like that. This is when I was like a 7-year-old in first grade, which is crazy. This is the region where monoracial people are insecure about their looks, and the pandering mulattoes and pandering lightskins. They make everything about looks and race in this southern region. It's basically, in this region, they'll pedestalize ugly and attractive people. I mean, not attractive. They'll pedestalize ugly and average looking people. They only pedestalize attractive women. If you're an attractive man in this region, you're going to catch hell. Don't let you be light skinned or mulatto. That's going to be even worse. You're going to catch even more hell. So that's what I'm saying. For all my light skinned mulatto guys, get the fuck out of this region. If you're an attractive man, get the fuck out of this region. They don't like attractive people. And then if you're mixed, or wasn't this the same region that had it was illegal to race mix? So they made it illegal for you to be fucking born or even existing. So they would have killed you. They would have made the woman get an abortion. That's how evil this region is. They see mixed kids who don't pander to them, who don't act like them. They want to bully those kids and talk crap about them and program them to be bantilized from a young age all the way up. They'll fight you. I had to fight because I was light skinned, a pretty boy. I had to fight Bantu boys, and I was beating their ass. But why should kids have to go through that? You see what I'm saying? And then with the dating part, these monoracial men teaching women, not to date certain groups of men, or they doing this, it's just stupid. When I came down North Carolina, there was women down there saying, "Oh, we don't do light skinned dudes. We don't do light skinned dudes. We don't do light. I can't stand no yellow man. You can't stand a yellow man. You don't do light skinned." They're like, "What the fuck?" When I first came down there, that's what I heard. So I'm pretty sure all of the South is like that. I'm gonna leave Florida out, and I'm going to leave Texas out because I heard certain parts of Florida and Texas were different, and it wasn't like what I'm describing that's in like the DC, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, all of those areas. I know you go, the rest of these regions except for Florida and Texas, but the rest of them just racist and don't like light skinned motherfuckers like us. You feel me? So I wouldn't want to have any mixed kids or light skinned kids in this region. I wouldn't want them to grow up in these regions knowing how they truly feel. The women, they want to fuck the women out. They want to slut the light skinned and mulatto women out, turn them into what she say, concubines or whatever. They want to impregnate them and all of that. They'll program these women from a young age to identify as black and procreate with black men instead of her light skinned or mulatto male counterpart. They'll say, hell no, fuck him. He needs to die, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You need a dark skinned man. He got that light skinned man, got that white man up in him, He needs to die and be exterminated because that's how the fuck they feel about you. So they want light-skinned women because she can produce all these pretty and attractive brown-skinned and caramel-skinned kids. And if it's a dark-skinned griff, they'll have her. You see what I'm saying? So they'll respect Bantu's fucking white women and light-skinned women and whoever other non-black women. They'll respect that. But if you have a black mom or a mulatto mom with a white dad or some other shit, you're not gonna be respected that much. My dad is mixed, kinda. He's white, but he's mixed, and him being with my mom, she's black. They didn't like that. They tried to beat him up, shit, kill him. They didn't accept that bullshit. So, what I'm trying to say is, just get out of this region, man. This region is evil. The history behind it, and I think this is the same region that was killing light-skinned and mulatto man, right? Over women and just for existing, just attacking them and killing them over these decades. Wasn't that going on too? We're going to talk about that in another video. But wasn't this the region that started it off in the northern region too? Right. And it was monoracial motherfuckers, and it was mainly Bantus. And that's another thing. This region is where the Bantus are at. The Bantus have insane numbers in this region, insane numbers. So, and this is where they're powerful at, so they're going to show their true colors in these regions. So that's why I say y'all need to get the fuck out of there. Just leave. I talked to a mulatto guy that was my friend. He left and went to Arizona. His life changed. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that in another slide. But yeah, I wouldn't want to have kids here. I wouldn't want to raise them here. I just wouldn't want to get out. And I know a lot of these people that watch. A lot of people will come into my comments with counter arguments like, well, the South is big, so what do you mean, and what are you talking about, and blah, blah, blah. All right, well, how about you shut the fuck up? If you're not light-skinned or mulatto, if you're not going through what I'm going through, or the number of people that's watching my videos is going through, shut the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? Because half of you people are trolls. You guys pander to monoracial people. And then when you see this movement starting, you look at us like we're crazy. We don't know what we're talking about. No, you're just a sucker. You're a cuckold sucker for monoracial people. You're trying to counter argue me when I'm trying to spread awareness. You're just fucking losers, man. Monoracial-fied losers. So, they're good with being a cuckold peasant. So, let them. I know I'm not. Then I heard one of them is a cuckold for white boys in Detroit. That plays a guitar. Yeah, you in Detroit, bro. So I might as well mark that off too. The Midwest, you guys might as well leave that shit alone too, then, cause that in the last video, the AI did mention the Midwest along with the South. So maybe y'all gotta get the fuck off the Midwest as well, if the same. So yeah, for a light skin or mulatto man's experience in this southern region, they're gonna be bullied at a young age, and they're gonna be bullied growing all throughout school. They're gonna be bullied about their appearance and their skin tone and all of that, which try to make them feel low self-esteem, insecure about themselves, kill their motivation, try to bully them so much into making them a fucking loser, a nobody. That's what they'll do in this region. And if he is a stand-up guy, fights back, because there's only two archetypes that get accepted: the tall, athletic, light-skinned male that plays football or basketball, or mulatto male that tall, plays athletic stuff. Then you'll have the thug that's tatted out, he got some dreads, or he got a cruddy, or braids or whatever. So it's either you have to be the tall athlete or the thug archetype. Like I said in the last video, if you're not one of those, you're not going to make it in this region. Then you have to be careful, because these motherfuckers might want to kill you too, just for being light skinned. They're going to kill you extra harder just because you're a mulatto or because you're a light skin. So that's what they'll do with the males. They'll bully them all the way from a kid all the way up, program the male to feel low self-esteem and kill his motivation, the light-skinned mulatto male. They would exclude him from dating. They would try to force him to be gay, make him an incel, or they would try to put on these crazy stereotypes. But yeah, they'll try to force the light-skinned or mulatto male in this region into gayness or being an incel. Or if not, then he'll be a cuckold cleanup guy. That's what I was going for, that. Then he'll be the cuckold cleanup guy that's dating unattractive, leftover monoracial women, who've been ran through by monoracial men. So yeah, and then for the light-skinned mulatto woman, they will program her from a young age to identify with a monoracial group and only deal with monoracial men. Instead of her own male counterpart, and most of these monoracial men will do is just impregnate her, and because a lot of them, that's all they're going to do is impregnate her and monoracialify the bloodline again. So, yeah, they'll teach her to hate her male counterpart, go against her male counterpart as well. So it's like a little gender war going on here between light-skinned women and mulattoes against mulattoes and light-skinned men. So I think it's true. I mean, I walk into a store, a light-skinned woman or a mulatto woman just looks at me. They don't say hi. They don't. You see what I'm saying? They act like a Bantu woman. You see what I'm saying? And that's because they've been taught their Bantu fucking ways. So, if you don't want your daughter Bantalized and only dealing with monoracial men, get her up out of this region. If you don't want your son being bullied or killed, or if not that, he's a cuckold cleanup guy for these monoracial fucks, get him up out of this region. Because I'm telling you, because if it's not none of that, then they'll kill him. They'll kill him. If you're not a bitch, if you're not, any falling into any of those things I said, then they're gonna kill you, bro. You have to play your cards right in this region, or they're gonna kill you, bro. They really don't like light-skinned dudes, bro. They really don't. They will kill you. That's how bad it is. Some of these people will mean mug you when you walk in a store. They'll look at you like you're crazy. And really the whole time they're either getting sexual thoughts about you or they're getting like killer thoughts about you, like killing you. You see what I'm saying? Just get the fuck out of this region. This is how these people feel about you. They want to kill you. They want to do gay stuff to you. They want to make you a cuckold, especially the women. They want to force you into being gay. A lot of men, monoracial men in that region are DL as well. That's why the STD rates are high. That's why it's spreading like wildfire, because these women here, they're programmed to deal with these DL men or fuck these small pool of DL men. And these DL men have access to all these different women. They just spreading it around. So that's what I'm saying. Just get out the South, y'all. It's a mess for It's a monoracial cesspool mess. Just get out of there. And then, I'm going to lay out something else. This is the region with the most unattractive people. And there's fucking proof. I'm going to put it up there. Hold on, y'all. So let's look at this newspaper by Bill Lindelof, right? It says Sacramento is number 2 city for the ugly. Okay, fuck Sacramento. It's just a city in the West Coast. They're just so astonished by Sacramento because there's so many attractive people on the West Coast, but fuck that. Let's look at the list though. On this right hand side, Baltimore, number 1. The city that I'm from has the most ugliest people, and it was in a newspaper. So I'm like, well, if Baltimore has a bunch of ugly people there, and it's monoracial people as well, ugly monoracial people, then that means the surrounding areas like DC, Virginia, the southern part of Maryland, Delaware, North Carolina, these places have unattractive monoracial people. And these people are very insecure about themselves. They see an attractive man, they get very hostile, especially if he's light skinned or mulatto. They get hostile. They want to kill him, or they want to do gay stuff to him. Let's keep on going. Spokane, Washington. Okay, that's just another. Charlotte, North Carolina, number 4. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for a long time, and there is a lot of unattractive monoracial people there. A lot of them, especially the Bantus. They're very ugly there. They're more aggressive about it because the further down you go, the more uglier they get. So, yeah, they're even more aggressive about it. They will kill a light-skinned dude. That's how bad it is, especially in Baltimore and North Carolina. Yeah. North Carolina was, when I went to North Carolina, that was the region where they said, yeah, we don't do light-skinned dudes. We don't date light-skinned dudes. Yeah, we don't do light-skinned dudes. I can't stand no yellow man. Y'all light-skinned niggas are this. Y'all light-skinned niggas are that. And it was more aggressive than it was in Baltimore. Because Baltimore, I was coming up, and they was like, oh, you're a white boy, blah, 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 white bitch, whatever, when I was in my early school years. Then later on in Baltimore, they made everything about looks. Oh, you're ugly, your teeth is fucked up, why do you walk like that? Why are you built like that? Just any little fucking thing they could find on you, they would try to clown you about it. That was in Baltimore. But they didn't make it about race, like, cause they knew what I was, a light-skinned mixed kid, but they didn't like me because I wasn't pandering to, the Bantus. I wasn't trying to be like them. I was my own mulatto self, and they didn't like that. But, going back to North Carolina, it was most definitely about race and oh, you're light-skinned, and, so, with that being said, that's the area where they'll try to make a light-skinned male an incel or a gay. the black women and all these other monoracial women will play games with light-skinned men in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas. So just the whole North Carolina as a whole, fuck that state, because they don't like light-skinned and mulatto men unless you're a thug with dreads and tattoos and all that shit, or you're tall and play athletic stuff. Or if you're tall with dreads and tattoos and you thugged out, oh, they love that. They'll love you, a tall, thugged out, light skinned dude. So, if you're not the thug, dreadhead archetype, or you're not the tall athlete archetype in Charlotte, it's just a no go for you. It's just crazy that Baltimore and Charlotte, North Carolina, were the two places I grew up in most of my life, and they were the places top on the list, top 4 with the most unattractive people there. That's explains why I went through most of the bullshit I went through there, both of those places, because I was attractive and light skinned and mulatto around unattractive monoracial people. Now if we go down, you'll see Milwaukee, that's the Midwest. Cleveland, Ohio, Midwest. Tampa, Florida, that's the South. Atlanta, that's the South. Memphis, Tennessee, that's the South. So you see Midwest and the South. It's only like 2 places that's on the West. So, and you guys remember in the last video I just said this. They even said it was places in the South and the Midwest, places with the most unattractive people who are monoracial. So that's what it is. You guys need to get the fuck off the southern region. This is proof right here. You're light skinned, you deserve a pretty woman. You deserve the most attractive top tier monoracial women if you do go that way, and you most definitely deserve the most attractive light skinned and mulatto women and procreate with them. That's how it should be in those regions. But instead, the ugly and the unattractive monoracial man want all the women for themselves, and they want you to have their unattractive leftovers that they wouldn't date or marry. So yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna try to make this video long, but yeah, y'all, just get the fuck off this region. We deserve better as light skinned and mulatto, man. We don't deserve their bullshit, them being bullies or them trying to kill you or do whatever because they're ugly and their parents chose wrong and their parents was insecure and the kid is insecure, and people don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? You're dehumanizing somebody because you're treating somebody like they're a fucking animal because they don't look the way you and the rest of your counterparts look in that region. Or they're not what you guys are. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all have to leave these regions alone. They'll try to group you into being a Bantu or monoracial fight. They'll force you into it. You can't be yourself here, So that's what I'm saying. But we're gonna leave out Florida and Texas because I heard certain parts of Texas and Florida was good places for light skin and mulatto men, but the rest of the South is shit. And whoever tries to come my comment section with a counter argument like I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna ignore you and I'm gonna block you. Because I'm not gonna sit here and try to go back and forth with you guys about something that I know I'm right about and you trying to make me seem like I'm wrong because you're a cuckold for monoracial men. So like I said, I'm going to speak the truth. And that's all I'm going to do is speak the truth on here. But I advise all my light skinned and mulatto men to leave that southern region and go more west. And I'm going to make a video about that. I have proof and an example. I have a friend that left the region and his life has changed. That whole East Coast region as a whole, the Midwest and that whole shit. And went west, and his whole life done changed. I wish I could get him up here if I could interview him or FaceTime or do something about this. But if not, I'm just gonna explain the story about it, and I just want to spread this awareness to y'all and get this out here, because I found a solution for most of us guys, especially ones that's in the region for that I'm in. You know, the southern region, where these Bantus are. You know, they have numbers. They're active, and they show their true colors here. And they, you know, over the decades, they've been showing how they truly feel about men that look like me. You know, especially the things I dealt with, especially in Baltimore and Charlotte, North Carolina. But anyway, y'all tune in for the next video. Pariah out.